थैंक यू वेरी मच मंच पर सभी लोगों को मेरा प्रणाम। साथियों, मैं आप सबके सामने हूँ एज ए कॉमनर। मैं आज इस यहाँ डायस पे आया हूँ, आपकी तरफ से प्रश्न पूछ रहा हूँ, अपनी तरफ से ये प्रश्न पूछ रहा हूँ, और हमारे विद्वान लोग यहाँ पर हैं, विशेषकर रमेश भाई, सतीश जी, जो वास्तु से हैं। तो ये अभी शिव शक्ति की बात की थी, वो प्रकृति की बात है, तो वहीं से मैं वास्तु का एक प्रश्न उठा के लाया हूँ, जो अभी अपने आदरणीय शुक्ला जी ने कहा था। तो मुझे क्षमा करेंगे, मैं पढ़ के ही बोल पाऊंगा। During the forced vacations due to the COVID lockdowns, I got opportunity to read some of the papers published by eminent scholars of Vastu. To name a few, I say Banaras Bibliography, Rationale of Inscribing, Sacred Ecology, Oracle Landscape of Orsha, Design of Settlements in Vastu, Indian Architectural Theory and Dancing Architecture, Comparative Study of Vastu Shastra, Building Science and Vedic Vastu. Beyond doubt, friends, beyond doubt, we got this Jnana of Vastu from our sages and rishis. We did inherit the instructions about the practice and use of this noble science. As a commoner, I am asking, please remember this. As of now, the question raised by learned and the commoner is, are we justifying with the instructions in our practice? I repeat, are we justifying with the instructions in our practice? I, being an inquisitive person, hereby request all my friends, those who are masters of Vastu, please guide me and remove the doubts crept in the practice of Vastu and in the astrology, having a thick curtains with which frustrate my inquisitive mind. The question is, I am going to put as a commoner from your side as well as mine, whether the Vastu study of a property is prime or the property owner's horoscope is the prime. The question is, should we first go for the person's horoscope or should we go for the remedial measures of the Vastu property? This is the first question. In other words, if I ask, should the horoscopic analysis of the owner of the property be studied first, or for Vastu, we should go for the property and suggest remedial measures? And should we first suggest remedies in that regard to individual after seeing the horoscope or his study, or should we directly jump to suggest remedies and alterations, etc. for the property? This question is very serious and needs answers. I quote here under some relevant cases why I have raised this question now before you all. I quote here under some relevant instances. So many cotton mills, I'm from UP, so many cotton mills, sugar mills, which were established 150 years back, which yielded so much riches and gains and profits in periods when we were not independent. And why almost all such industries have got vanished after long years, particularly when we got independence. The question again, once that very composite set yielded riches, and with the passage of time, that very composite set started giving losses. Note beforehand, this is one underlining point, that almost in all such industries, no new construction was being made. No new construction, no addition. Whatever that was built 150 years back and that gave so much riches, why again, without any alteration, they have gone to losses? This is the question. Meaning the same properties with same dimensions and architecture which yielded riches for so many years got so much petty conditions, becoming liable for liquidations. Why? Underlining point is that there is one more point which we have to take into account. Underlining point is that the only change that happened in all these periods were the changes of hands governing individuals. मेरे पिता जो चीज़ देखते थे वो जब कमा रहे थे 100, जब मुझे मिला तो मैं कमाने लगा 10. So here the same business was there of my father, and my father earned 100. No change in the boundaries or the plot size or the machinery. But why? I like to quote very recently, today morning only I got this point. A very relevant example is that one individual decision taken by Mr. Ratan Tata for a car of 1 lakh rupees. Simultaneously, his team all worked. What happened? From Singur to Sanan to shut down. One single decision. There was no Vastu at all. But once it, so horoscope of a person, he is a great man. He has got many things in his kitty to show. But that one decision. So individual horoscope works. Once I was sitting in a class in Kanpur chapter, Ramesh Chintagi was telling the students, so I also heard that over here. He said, with the help of horoscope of a person, it can be found out that is there any Vastu dosh in the dwelling house or workplace. You have to see third, fourth, and fifth houses in the horoscopes. I recall one of our great personality of ICAS, Sri A.V. Sundaramji. This question I raised before him also on a platform, say Facebook. There I raised this very some 7, 8 years back. I got his reply in my diary. So I'm quoting that. I'm quoting late Sri A.V. Sundaram's reply. He wrote, Dear Bholanath Shuklaji, I totally agree with you. Individual horoscope should be taken before. It is the native chart important for the results. And he quoted one Sanskrit slok. He said, Vasante na prano tatra vastu. Think of the sentence. Where living being live, that is vastu. And he again told, Cancer, yani ki kar, is the char vastu, your environment. And the Scorpio is the sthir vastu, that is the eighth house. कहाँ गए ब्रिगेडियर साहब, eighth house is there. Okay. Now, you recall, आप लोग हिंदी का एक शब्द है चौथे और आठवें भाव के लिए एक शब्द का प्रयोग करते हैं चतुरस्य. उसका डिटेल का मीनिंग के लिए रमेश चिंतक जी हैं, he'll explain you. And the Meena, yani ki Pisces, is the Nitya Vastu, your stay and your sleep. So native chart is important. I, with respect, say if, 3 words for Professor Sundaram. He was Icasian by heart. भाई साहब, ये भी सुंदरम जी के लिए मैं लिख रहा हूँ. Icasian by heart and mathematician by profession. Icasian by heart, mathematician by profession, and magician by skills. So taking note of the above mentioned lessons, I understand that the horoscope of the person have a clear-cut edge. To find out the dose and remedial measures, be suggested to that extent. Stepping in or moving out from a dwelling place or for all its advantages and disadvantages requires a deliberate and conscious decision. बहुत सोच के समझ के मुझे बताना पड़ेगा कि आप यहाँ पे नुकसान हो जाएगा, ये दीवार हटा दें वगैरह वगैरह. So in other words, unhurried and without any rapacious desire. There should not be any excessive or exploitative act out of greed or to take advantage of consumers or the patrons. हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा. It is the individual who controls, governs, owns and pockets the gain. Since his horoscope works according to his fate and free will, and that should be studied before suggesting any modification to the Vastu. I now quote a famous dialogue, very famous dialogue from prominent lawyer C.K. Daftari ji from Maharashtra while urging a judge to forgive a junior lawyer, said, "My lord, the young man's fault," I am that young man, "the young man's fault is that he has done the right thing in a wrong way. When he reaches your lordship's age, he will learn how to do wrong things in a right way." Thank you. Taking cue from the court, I humbly submit. Now it is as a body of ICAS, I being a member for the last 30 years, so I am writing a few words for that also. ICAS being a body has now become a seat of learning of astro branches. Thus every leaf, rib, stem and branch of the tree has its role to play to keep the tree deeply rooted. Everybody, you, me and all. Any of our act under the wheel of ICAS for self-gains would jeopardize the image of the ICAS. मेरी जरा सी भी एक लालच से ICAS का नाम बदनाम होगा. Self-praise has no recommendation in the institution. Friends, we share collective responsibility. जैसे साहब हैं, शुक्ला साहब हैं, चिंतक जी हैं, प्रदीप जी हैं, we all are sharing, you all, collective responsibility. Now, the lesson of Dr. B.V. Ramanji, our founder president, is worth recalling here again, because this lesson he has given to me and Ramesh Chintakji while the Kanpur chapter was having its first convocation somewhere in 1998. He wrote a letter to us. I'm reading from that. Number one, unhealthy trends have seeped into practice of astrology, and these must be suitably tackled. He wrote in 1998. Number two, he said, to serve the cause of astrology, to understand proper understanding of this great science, and simultaneously he said, eschewing all wrong notions. He signed from his own pen, from his own hand. That date is 5th of November 1998. So I feel that the older I grow affinity with ICAS, the more my eyes are wide open for getting answers of my inquisitive mind. Please. I am just grasping every opportunity to graduate myself. I don't know how long my learning will continue to be. I treat every query on a serious note and potential. I do not take it as any walkover. I am sure, I am unsure when will it all over. When will I get the tap on my shoulder by my learned? When I look back my past 30 years of the journey of ICAS, I feel myself proud since I could enrich my study without any limpings. Thank you very much. Namaskar.